Hi, in this video I want to talk to you about another method for increasing the intensity of your workout. This method is called partial reps, and pretty much as the name suggests, you'll be performing a rep but not in the full range of motion, just a part of the range of motion. Now that range of motion can be anything from a quarter to a half, a third, whichever. It's just a part of the rep. Now there's many different ways or occasions you'd want to use partial reps, but today I want to focus on just using them to increase the intensity of a particular session. And similar to the method of drop sets, we'll just use these sparingly. We'll put them towards the end of a session or towards the end of a particular exercise. Once you've completed the 3 or 4 main sets, the last set you will use partial reps, and it's a great way to finish off a workout, and it's a great way to really hit a muscle to know that you've completely recruited all the fibers and you're going to get the results you need. A quick word on full range of motion. My opinions on full range of motion are when you can, you should always use a full range of motion on an exercise. Now the problem is not everyone has got the structure to do an exercise in the textbook fashion. For example, the bench press for me causes me a lot of problems. If I come down with the long arms, I come down to about here when I'm doing any kind of pressing. It's about as far as I'm going to go. If I come past that point, you see the shoulders come forwards, and it really puts my shoulders in a position where they have been and will be injured. And also, past this point, it's the triceps and the shoulders are taking over, doing all the movement. Here, just to here, is chest. So for me, I had to find out the hard way that a full range of motion on a barbell pressing exercise, it's not for me. It doesn't hit target the chest, and it causes me problems. Now, for you, that could be a different exercise. More often than not, it's a pressing kind of movement that puts the shoulders in a bad position. So you need to find out a range of motion for you, unless you're competing or you're a power lifter and you have to technically do a lift a certain way, which if you are, this probably isn't the video for you. You want to figure out how to stimulate that muscle most effectively. You're not being judged by others in the gym. They're not scoring your technique. They're not looking to see is your technique correct, textbook perfect form. Form should always be good. It's the full range of motion I'm talking about here. Don't be afraid to come short on an exercise if you feel it's not going to give you the benefits or it's going to cause you injuries. That's probably a more in-depth discussion for another day about full range of motion. But it leads me into partial reps. Partial reps are, you'll see if you watch some professional bodybuilders, they'll use partial reps quite predominantly in their training. And there's a reason for this. It's very effective at stimulating muscle growth. It's very effective at targeting a muscle and making that muscle work. The time under tension for the whole set, the muscle never rests. Always, you can get to the top and rest a second. The partial rep, that muscle is constantly working. And it does actually reduce the risk of joint injury also. Now that being said, these guys have been training a long time and they probably have done the compound heavy movements to build the muscle they already have. The partial reps, it's like the icing on the cake. So I'm not talking about using partial reps as your predominant way of training. It's a technique today I want to discuss using it as a technique that you throw into your session, and it just really finishes off the exercise you're doing, and you make sure you recruit every single fiber possible for the maximum results. Because partials can be quite intense, similar to drop sets, it's a technique you should use sparingly. In a session, I would choose 2 exercises, and at the end of each of those exercises, after you perform the 3 or 4 sets, the last set is when we'll also do a set of partials. So you will train to technical failure in your set, and then you'll introduce partials. Now the difference between doing a drop set and then throwing in a drop set or doing partials, with a drop set, as we discussed previously, you have to stop and physically change the weight if you don't have a training partner with you. A partial, there's no stopping. You're straight into it. Now, what you will do, I will demonstrate with a couple of exercises what a partial set, a traditional set combined with a partial set will look like. Probably better than me rambling on. You'll get the idea a lot quicker that way, and then we'll go over the finer points of it and You can have a go yourself. Right, quick demonstration of a set of barbell curls, finishing off with some partial reps. Okay, now you switch into partials. There you go. So you see, the first portion of the set to normal, full range of motion. As I hit technical failure, I couldn't do another rep correctly. But I could squeeze out, I don't know how many I got, I'll look at the video and find out, 5, 6 maybe, partials. And it's only a small movement, but trust me, you really feel that in the muscle. The muscle's already tired. A lot of the muscle fibers have been recruited at that point. The partials, you can bring in a few more remaining fibers, and it really does make a difference. So I'll choose one more exercise just to quickly demonstrate, and that should be it. Okay, one more quick demonstration of a partial set. Just doing lat pull downs to the front. So, as you see there, the partial portion was towards the upper end of the movement as the weight was closer to contraction, whereas with the curls, it was towards the more extended portion of the partial, the set. So, vary the areas where you do the partials. On some exercises, you're going to find it hits you a lot more at the bottom, more at the top, midway, just a few small movements midway, the same with the pull downs, sometimes just at the top, other times just here or in the middle. It's to recruit more fibers at the end of a set when your muscles are already too exhausted to do a complete full range of motion rep. Throw in some partials, that's proper failure, you'll feel that. Yeah, give it a go, I'm sure you'll fit it.